What's up there, YouTube friends? Cheddar here, back with another video. Got Rozzy here, so she might put her cat butt in the camera. Oh, no, she's going away. All right, see you later, Rozzy. All right, well, Cheddar here, back with another video. I hope you are doing well. I hope you had a good day. Yeah, just first, I always like to say that, so I hope you're doing well and having a good day. And this video is episode 2 review of the Penguin show, the new Penguin show that's showing on Max. It might be available on other streaming platforms, but I'm watching it on Max. It's funny because the first episode came out about 2 weeks ago, not last Friday, but the Friday before that, right? And so I expected episode 2 to come out a week later, the following Friday, and it didn't. I was ready for it, and because I was prepared to make a video every Friday or so, it just about that, keeping up with it, and episode 2 never premiered. So I just sat by and waited and saw nothing on Max. There's no, there's never any notifications, but there's no coming soon or episode 2 coming soon, anything like that. So I didn't know what was happening. It seems, I was guessing it was delayed for some reason. That was my assumption, right? That it was scheduled for Friday, but there was something that either they were fixing or needed to arrange in the background, producer business wise. And so for some reason they had to delay it and just kept it under the rug, didn't make any big fuss about it. And anyway, so now episode 2 came out suddenly in the middle of this week, right? It didn't come out last Friday like I thought it was. I was thinking it was going to come out this Friday, and so I checked Max yesterday being Thursday, today being actually Friday. I checked Max Thursday, and there I see episode 2. It just says new, ready. But when episode 1 was out, it was basically shoving the show in my face. It was saying, check out episode 1. So I said, heck yeah, I'll check it out. Why didn't it do that with episode 2? The Max interface and UI and just system is so weird sometimes. Even on I have so many complaints, I guess you could say complaints, but concerns, kind of issues of varying degrees, right? Some bigger issues, some smaller issues with the Max streaming platform. One thing that's kind of bothers me is even on the kids profile, because I have kids, as you might be able to guess, on the kids profiles, you can still find rated R movies and so. My kids can go watch like Boardwalk Empire on the kids profile, and there's like nudity and violent deaths in that movie. So in that show, I should say. So that's always kind of strange. But anyway, Max just has some weird interactions as a streaming platform, is all I'm saying. So episode 2 comes out in the middle of this week for some reason, and I didn't have any plan. I tried to scramble to watch it, but I've just had too much going on, so I couldn't watch it until today. And what did I think of episode 2, you might ask? It was a little boring. It was okay. It was a little boring, which was about what I was expecting. I will say, just to give kind of a big picture review, I'd put it as like a C minus or so. The episode does redeem itself by the end, but the whole episode feels a bit meandering. You basically see characters, like take for example Sophia. I'm just going to be really specific. If you don't want any spoilers, I'll do a quick spoiler-free section here. Episode 2 was a little boring, but was okay. It was just mostly a continuation of episode 1 with not much new information. What was new was went through very slowly. Basically, it felt like it just should have gone faster, like it was taking its time with everything, and it wasn't very thrilling. It wasn't very exciting. It was very formal. The show still looks good. Oz as the Penguin, or Colin Farrell as the Penguin, whose name is Oz. He's good, but this was just kind of an okay, meh episode. It gets a little better at the end, where you see that there's a little bit more setup leading into the following episodes. This TV got to keep the hook in you, so it kind of works with that. I think it brings itself back up by the end, but I just found it meandering. I guess I can go into some spoilers here. So, you know, if you don't want any spoilers, just cut it off from here. But the first spoiler thing I'll talk about, which these aren't even big spoilers anyway, so they don't really matter. A lot of these are just is just information from episode 1. But Sophia, the character that's Albert Falcone's sister, who is a main character of this show, she's trying to figure out, you know, her brother who murdered her brother, who's the Penguin, and he's covered it up by framing another crime family. And so the Penguin in the story is playing both the Falcones and the other family, which begins with an M, the Maronis. I think it's the Maronis, but it's the Morons. No, it's not the Morons. That's just a silly joke. I think it's the Malonis, or the Maronis. But anyway, the Penguin's playing both sides, right? And so Penguin kills Albert Falcone in the first episode, and he's covering it up for Sophia in the first episode. And at the end of the first episode, Penguin sort of clears his name. And then in this episode, I just felt like we're seeing Sophia wallow around in the death of her brother too much. Okay, and I do get that she's sad, but how it was showing it was just, I guess I didn't feel any sadness from the scenes. If you're going to show these kind of scenes, I do think that you should show them in a manner to make the audience feel something, and so you're not just getting a bunch of scenes which end up sequentially seeing a character just be sad and feel like they're losing their mind, and then at the end they're not really losing their mind, they're okay anyway. So it's, well, there's more to it, okay? I know I'm giving a brief summary. I just found the episode a little boring. Not that I need any action scenes to happen in it, because there's more action scenes in the first episode, but the second episode, just nothing. They didn't really discuss or talk about anything exciting. It's a small cover-up mission, and there's a little bit of interest to it, but overall it just feels like an hour's worth of time for a small bit of change that you get in this episode. So it may be more necessary down the line, be more specifically because the end, I guess I'm in spoilers, but what happens by the end of this episode is that the Penguin framed Albert Falcone's murder successfully on someone else. Sophia Falcone is convinced it was an inside job, and not only that, they also believe that they caught that inside man who was framed by Oz Perkins. Who was it? It was just one of her team members that was framed. He was a loyal team member, and the guy seemed like a cool team member. I was hoping he would be in more of the show. He just seemed like one of the cooler, what do you call it? Sidekicks or sidekick villains, something like that. You know what I mean? Secondary villains. So, but he was killed off. And so let's have a quick moment of silence for that character whose name I can't remember, but he seemed pretty cool. Okay, good. Moment of silence, done. Yeah. Anyway, this episode was just a little dull. I'm hoping for more exciting. There needs to be more consequence. There needs to be more at stake. Okay, I'm fine with no action scenes, but there's nothing really at stake. It's just, is the Penguin involved in the Albert Falcone's murder, which is more or less just what was happening from the first one, and they sort of cleared his name by the end of the first one, not specifically, but even with what happens in this episode, it feels like Sophia shouldn't be as convinced as she is. You know, it still feels like Penguin could be involved in the murder. It just that she just caught one person, so it doesn't feel like she should trust Penguin as much as she is trusting, especially since everyone seems to just kind of know Penguin as a like manipulative character. So I just don't feel like she should trust him as much as she does. But you know, that's just what's happening with the character. You know, I'm just going to take that as it is. I want to see more at stake, more consequence. I mean, the risk of that show, I guess in the lore, is it risks, the more that's at stake, it risks Batman coming in, or at least begs the question, why isn't Batman showing up in the show? And maybe he does. I don't think so, though. I don't think they're going to get Robert Pattinson to show up in the show. But I mean, they got Colin Farrell for the show, so maybe there will be some surprises. But I think they're trying not to involve Batman. I hope they bring in other villains in the show. That will be really exciting. But I just want more, there to be some kind of critical, something at stake, something of consequence that needs to be done, some kind of goal, someone that needs to be stopped. Right now, it's just Penguin trying to play both sides, trying to play both families to work his way up the crime chain, more or less, and currently clear his name. But that's mostly it. So we'll see how it goes. I'm still gonna keep following up with the show. It's an okay show. It reminds me of a lot of Boardwalk Empire, where there's real exciting moments. This episode's kind of a dip down, but it feels like it's a minor part of the chain in a chain link, that it's like a chain link fence or something, and you have to kind of examine each link. And it's one piece of the puzzle, I guess. It's only one part, so it's hard for me to judge the whole show. Just this episode, especially compared to the first episode, it's a little boring. But we'll see what's more to bring. I don't even know when episode 3 is going to come out. It didn't come out today, so it's either going to come out next Wednesday or next Friday or something like that. So I'll post again when I see that. But episode 2, I'm not really giving, a high recommend. I need to see more of the show before I give a stronger opinion on everything. But just a quick rundown of episode 2. That's all. But so thank you for your time. I hope you had a good day. Thank you for listening. Take care. Bye-bye.